backhand slice with this frame because I really felt like I could hit a good slice with this frame. Damn bugs, man. I was able to get my hands on a new racket from Prince, the Prince Phantom 100. I was able to hit it for a couple weeks. Let's see what I thought. Hitting ground strokes with this frame was a lot of fun. You get a lot of control, so I felt like I could stay behind the baseline all day and just trade ground strokes, and I got to the point where I felt like I couldn't miss. I was just having so much fun hitting ground strokes. From a control perspective, this racket was very control oriented. In fact, I had to swing for the fences to get the ball deep, so you could string this racket well in the mid 40s and be perfectly fine from a control perspective, at least from my opinion. From a spin perspective, this racket's excellent. It's begging you to stay 3-4 feet behind the baseline and just play the spin monster game. It has fairly wide spacing between the strings in the patterns, so you can sit back behind the baseline and spin it all day long, you know, particularly with a full poly. So I'd give the spin rating on this racket, I'd say it's very high. So if you're looking for something that gives you a lot of spin and a lot of control, this is going to be your frame. From a feel perspective, this racket was very comfortable. In fact, it played very dampening. I probably didn't need to play with a dampener like I did. So it's a very comfortable frame. If you're someone that has elbow issues or wrist issues, this racket should be on your list, because from a comfort perspective, I never once had an issue. I strung it two ways, first as a hybrid, and the hybrid I didn't have any issues from a comfort perspective. That was a 53 poly, 57, and a synthetic gut, and then in the all poly package, which you see here, I strung it at 57 pounds just to kind of see how high I could go, and again, never felt any type of arm issues. The racket, from a plow through perspective, I think this racket needs a bit more weight in order to hit a heavy ball. I was not able to hit a real heavy ball with this frame, certainly versus my racket of choice, the Pure Drive Tour. This racket is going to be more spin and so forth. So I had a hard time kind of getting this ball to push through the court and plow through the court. So my advice would be for those that want to play with this frame and get a lot of power, get a lot of plow through, I'd definitely put some lead tape on this frame to weighten it up a bit. You'd probably be able to get a bit more power, a bit more plow through on the ball, at least than I was getting. And again, you're going to want to string it low. When you come to the net with this frame, you get a lot of control on the volley. You can pretty much volley where you're aiming to with this frame. It's not going to give you a lot of plow through from the volley perspective, so if you're looking to be aggressive with your volley, you're going to have to really step into it and get your weight into it. But overall, the control on your volleys is very good. It's a good volleying frame. I did find it flutter a little bit when you hit it outside the sweet spot, but nothing that a little lead tape couldn't handle. From a serve perspective, I struggled a little bit with this racket. Just from a power perspective, I just couldn't get a lot of power into my serve with this racket. First off, I strung it too high, both with the hybrid as well as this full poly. So my advice would be string it low, and you'll probably be able to get some of the power that you want from this frame. But overall, overall, a great frame from Prince. If you're a fan of the old '03 EXO frames, this one should definitely be on your demo list. I never did play with those frames, so it's hard for me to compare, but overall I think it's a great frame. It's not a frame that I'm going to put in my bag though. I just like a frame that offers me a bit more power and it's a bit stiffer from a feel perspective. But overall, great frame from Prince. I'm glad I got to try it out. I'm glad I got to hit with it and so forth. So if you're a fan of the old Prince rackets, definitely put this one on your demo list. If I were to play with it, I'd put a lot more lead on it and try to get a bit more power, get a bit more weight behind the ball. But a great frame, and it was a great play test. I'm glad I got to take it out. Thanks for watching.